The rain hammered against the corrugated metal roof of Hercules' salvage shop as he sorted through another crate of pre-war electronics. Earth had been part of the Galactic Coalition for 30 years now, but humanity still occupied the bottom rung of the cosmic ladder. Most species considered them barely sentient, useful for manual labor, perhaps, but little else. Hercules didn't mind the prejudice much anymore. It meant cheaper rent in the station's outer sectors and fewer questions about where his salvage came from. He was reaching for his sonic wrench when he heard it. A soft, pitiful whimper from the alley behind his shop. He grabbed his plasma torch. The station's lower levels weren't safe after dark and stepped into the rain. The whimpering grew louder. Behind a stack of refuse containers he found it, a child, no more than 5 or 6 by human standards, covered in iridescent scales that flickered weakly in the dim light. Its wings were torn, one hanging at an unnatural angle, and its reptilian eyes were glazed with hunger and pain, a dragon child. Here, in the human sectors, dragons were apex predators in the galactic hierarchy. They controlled 3 entire systems, commanded fleets that could glass planets, and possessed psychic abilities that made even the Centauri telepaths nervous. They were warriors, conquerors, legends made flesh. They certainly didn't end up dying in human alleyways. Hercules should have called station security. Should have walked away. Getting involved with dragon affairs was a death sentence for humans. Everyone knew that. Instead, he scooped the child into his arms. "Hey, little one," he murmured, carrying the surprisingly light creature inside. "Let's get you warm." The child barely stirred as Hercules laid it on his workbench, clearing away circuit boards and wire cutters. Its breathing was shallow, scales dull where they should have gleamed. He'd worked on enough alien tech to understand basic xenobiology. This child was severely malnourished and dehydrated. Hercules raided his emergency supplies, protein bars, water, a medical kit designed for carbon-based life forms. The child's eyes flickered open as he offered water, and for a moment, Hercules glimpsed something ancient and terrifying in that gaze. Then the child drank, desperate and grateful. Over the next 4 days, Hercules nursed the dragon child back to health. He learned its name was Matriarchs and that he had been abandoned during a clan war, left for dead when his faction lost a political struggle. The boy spoke haltingly in broken galactic standard, but his meaning was clear. He had nowhere to go. His clan considered him dead, and returning would mean execution. Hercules fed him synthesized proteins, dressed his wounds, and fashioned a sling for his damaged wing. Matriarchs followed him around the shop, watching with intelligent golden eyes as Hercules repaired subspace radios and refurbished gravity generators. The boy learned quickly, asking questions about human technology with genuine curiosity. "You're strange," Matriarch said on the 4th evening, his voice stronger now. "Other species would have eaten me or sold me. Why did you help?" Hercules shrugged, not looking up from the nav computer he was calibrating. "Because you needed help. That's what humans do." "That's stupid," Matriarch said. But his tail curled around Hercules' ankle in what the human had learned was a gesture of affection on the morning of the 5th day. Someone knocked on the shop's front door. Hercules opened it to find 3 dragon women standing in the corridor. They were magnificent and terrifying, towering over him by at least 2 feet, scales gleaming like polished gemstones, eyes that burned with barely contained fire. The one in the center wore elaborate armor marked with sigils that Hercules recognized from galactic news feeds. House Draconis, one of the most powerful dragon clans. "Human," the lead dragon said, her voice resonating like a gong. "We are matriarchs of House Draconis. We seek the child Matriarchs." Hercules' heart hammered, but he kept his voice steady. "He's inside. He's safe." The matriarchs exchanged glances, something passing between them that Hercules couldn't read. The leader, her scales were deep crimson shot through with gold, stepped forward. "We detected his life signature 4 days ago. We have been ... observing. Observing?" Hercules felt anger flare despite his fear. "He was dying in an alley." "Yes, the matriarch's expression was unreadable. "Abandoned by those who should have protected him. We needed to know if the child would be claimed by those with honor, or by opportunists seeking ransom." I don't want ransom, Hercules snapped. I just wanted to help him. The second matriarch, her scales a deep azure, spoke. For 4 days, we watched a humana species we considered beneath notice care for a dragon child with no expectation of reward. We watched you sacrifice your resources, your time, your safety. The third matriarch, scales like polished obsidian, added, You taught him. Spoke to him with respect. Treated him as a person, not a prize. The red matriarch bowed her head in gesture that nearly made Hercules stumble. Dragons didn't bow to anyone? Human Hercules, I am Megara, High Matriarch of House Draconis. Pyrrhus is my sister's son. My sister died in the clan war that left him orphaned. I failed to protect him. Then some of our own left him to die rather than accept defeat, the Azure Matriarch continued. We have been searching for him for weeks. Megara's eyes met Hercules's, and he saw genuine emotion there, grief, shame, and something else, respect. You have done what we could not. You saved a dragon child when you had every reason to ignore him. You have shown us that we have been wrong about humanity. Pyrrhus emerged from the back room, his wing now properly splinted, scales bright and healthy. Aunt Megara! The boy rushed forward, and Megara caught him, holding him close. But Pyrrhus looked back at Hercules, distress clear on his young face. I don't want to leave. Hercules is teaching me things. He's my friend. Megara studied Hercules for a long moment. Then she smiled, a terrifying expression full of fangs. Then perhaps Hercules would consider a proposition. 20 minutes later, Hercules found himself signing a contract that made his head spin. House Draconis wanted him to establish an educational exchange program, dragons learning human ingenuity and adaptability, humans learning dragon technology and culture. He would serve as an ambassador, a teacher, and Pyrrhus's official guardian until the boy came of age. The pay was astronomical. The honor was unprecedented. The danger was probably considerable. Why me? Hercules asked as the matriarchs prepared to leave. Megara placed a clawed hand on his shoulder, gentle despite its weight. Because you helped when it cost you everything and gained you nothing? Because humanity, we have learned, possesses something we dragons have forgotten, compassion without calculation. You have reminded us what it means to have honor. As the dragons departed, Pyrrhus clutched Hercules' hand. Does this mean you're stuck with me? Hercules laughed, ruffling the boy's scaled head. Yeah, kid. I guess I am. Outside, the station continued its endless rotation. Humanity's place in the cosmos forever changed because one human did what humans do best. They helped someone who needed it. No questions asked. And in the Galactic Council, 3 dragon matriarchs began drafting new treaties. Their opinion of humanity fundamentally transformed. Sometimes. The smallest acts of kindness reshape entire civilizations. The end.